He's like, yo meneer, die is lekker. As elke vrijdag zo, ben je gaan weer volgende week kom nou? He's like, yes, let's go.
Love it.
Come on, this is what it's about. And he then takes the cup that everybody else spat into.
Oh,
And he takes them.
okay. So, Ayden, we're here today. Very first Au Blanc podcast. How does it feel?
It feels great. I feel honored. The first one, let's
First,
go.
first time as well. First time you've
Yeah.
been on here as well. Like we're taking this for the second time, but
First time on a podcast.
first time podcast. First, okay, that is not enough. We need to get you on more.
Let's go.
Let's go. So, Ayden, tell us a bit about yourselves. But about yourself, rather.
My name is Ayden.
Lovely.
Surname is Anthony.
There we go.
My
First
mom and,
name greatest.
Yeah.
Last name ever. Okay.
My mom and dad are Nicola and Randall.
Lovely.
Yeah, I am 22 years old at the moment, studying, teaching, church, youth, holiday club a lot.
Lovely,
So,
lovely stuff. So the reason why I wanted to bring you onto this podcast is because of what you do for the community of Ravensmead, for the service that you do for them, and really you are part of the unsung heroes that doesn't get a voice. They just do what they need to do in that sense. They just do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Because of the passion, of the love of what you
Yeah.
guys do. So I find that very inspirational. So that's why I wanted to bring you onto the show. So you touched on Holiday Club. What is that?
This is the perfect opportunity to get some more publicity out there. Let's go, Ravensmead Holiday Club. So Ravensmead Holiday Club is a Christian community outreach program.
Okay.
This is its 29th year in existence. So it's basically, we have a morning, we have an evening program. The idea behind it is simply to spread the gospel through whether it is skits, dramas, praise and worship, theme songs that we do, whatever program, whether it's morning or evening. The idea is just to spread God's word as much as possible, and that's what we hope to achieve. Morning program is for kids it's from grade R up until grade 7. Evening program is 14 years old up until whatever age. We don't usually put a limit on that.
Okay. And how many kids do you get in that morning program?
The morning program, I think the year that you were there, the last time that you were at club,
Which
I
we're
think
trying to figure out is between 2018 and 19.
I said 2018.
I think it's 2018.
You think 2018?
Yeah. So let's agree on 2018.
Okay, let's agree on
Why not?
2018. I think that year we were at the Ravensmead Civic.
Yes.
We had about 600
Wow.
kids every morning. And then the year of 2023 was my first year directing morning program. That year we averaged about 500 kids every morning. So yeah, things are, Ravensmead has no shortage. Morning program was stay strong.
Lovely. So, and what do you guys do in this morning program?
Morning program, we usually start off with in the mornings. Before we even get into the hall, we do big group games. So it's those, there's a fire on the mountain.
Run.
Yeah, that one. So we do a bunch of those kinds of games. We do walk rides, putting the sections up against each other because we usually split into primaries, juniors, and seniors. So we try and play them against each other, have like a competition of points, things like that. Play those games in the mornings, get them hyped up, get them into the hall. We usually start with praise and worship. Actions, it's to get them hyped as well. Dramas, skits, Bible promos, memory verses. I don't know if you remember any memory verses.
Oh goodness, but do I remember?
There were a few that we did. I think before we were even leaders, that we did a few memory verses. I remember a few memory verses.
Yeah.
But basically what a memory verse is, for the people who don't know, you take a verse out of the Bible and you attach a song to it and then you give it to the kids to let them learn it. And for months after Holiday Club, if you walk the streets of Ravensmead, you can bet your bottom dollar, if you walk into one of those kids, they're going to sing you a memory verse. So they're going to sing you something that they remember.
I still remember my memory verse.
You remember one?
Yes, I remember two. So
was this from when you were a leader?
This is when I was a kid.
Coming to the
program.
Crazy.
So this was back, I can't remember, I think 12 years ago. So I want to say dragged, but I want to make it a bit more exciting. I was willing.
Okay.
Because Ayden told me to go. So I went there and went to this massive hall. That time we were still having it at the AMF church?
AFM.
AFM church.
Oh, yeah, that's the one we're still using.
That's what
To
you saw.
this
It's
day. Mm.
lovely stuff. So then there's a wall around the corner from the AFM church, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
yes, yes. You probably talking about the IDMC.
Yes. So we're there, and could be around 300 kids, all within the same age group, between I think it was 13. I was 13
Mm.
to and below. I think up until
At least up until 13, but I
up
think
until 13.
you probably were paid with juniors and seniors together.
Yeah.
Mm.
So get there, and first memory verse, and this memory verse has literally followed me throughout my life. So
Oh.
Jeremiah 29 verse 11, and then
Mm.
like Jeremiah 29 verse 11, and then uh, we went on to that, and then I think that's what set my life up,
Mm.
knowing that God has a plan for me, and it even gave me a bigger sense that has a plan for me is when we
Mm.
got confirmed.
Yes,
And then Domini's verse that he
it
gave
was
20,
Jeremiah 29 verse
29 verse 11. So
Mm.
those memory verses stick with
I
those
remember
kids
that.
forever.
It does, like Holiday Club, if you if you are a leader, if you've been a leader at Holiday Club, you know that those kids, they remember the impact and you have a lasting impact, which is why Holiday Club is something that I'll do for as long as I possibly can.
Nice.
Just you don't even if you drive, if you walk down the streets of Ravensmead, those kids that remember
Nice.
everything. They come up with nicknames for you. My nickname was, since I think your last year was the year I got my nickname. I think that was, like we said, 2018. Yeah, I started in 2016. 2018 was your last year.
Mm.
That year, my nickname became Mania Bullet, and that has stuck. It has stuck since then to this day. The kids that were in my section, because I remember that year I was a junior. I was one of the junior leaders. The kids that were in my group from then moved on to seniors. They
Nice.
stayed in seniors a year after they were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
They are now in high school, still coming to morning programs, still
Nice.
wanting to be part of things. And
Nice.
now they just like the children that are there. When the children give too many problems or whatever, they say, I can see what is mark with you. I was like, you were these people, the ones you're
Yeah.
complaining about. You now you with on.
Yes.
They don't want to believe how bad they were. They drove me insane.
Oh,
But I loved them. And now they're the ones trying to keep my kids in line. They're just like, say, Fatima
best,
need a bullet for the joking. So, yeah.
best thing ever. And is it free for the kids to join?
Yeah, the kids are, it's completely free. They it's a community outreach program, so they pretty much whenever there's a set time for them to be there, but please believe if they want to be there, they're gonna be there.
Of course.
So the kids come in the mornings from 8 till about 12. After the morning program, we usually give them food, and then they go home after that. Then it's our time
Nice.
to prep for evening program.
So you feed them, educate them,
Yeah.
and just give them a lifelong experience as well. Tell me something. Is this government funded?
It is not. We are trying.
You're trying,
We are trying.
or hopefully, with the Au Blanc podcast,
Yes, 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 yes,
get
yes.
some government funding.
Of course, yes.
So, how do you guys get the money, get all the resources to do such a massive thing for 600 kids in the morning and how many people in the evening?
In the evenings, we're about 200 over, just over.
Just so 200, so nearly 1,000 people come to this program for a week,
Yeah.
and there's no government funding. So how do you guys? Is there a billionaire that's sponsoring you guys?
If only.
Is there
If
like
only.
what? How do you guys get the resources?
We have the best sponsor there.
There we go.
He's taking care of everything.
Amen.
It's a struggle every year. It's a struggle every year, but I will say though that through all the years that I've done club, the one thing that has remained consistent is that God blesses Holiday Club.
Nice.
Whether it is people that are not gelling together, whether it is finances that we are struggling with, whether it is just our own personal struggles and trials that we are going through, regardless of every single obstacle that has come up against Holiday Club, God has remained through. And that I can
Nice.
say beyond a shadow of a doubt. We do fundraisers as much as we can.
Yeah.
We do fundraisers, try to raise as much money as possible. So it's like Poikikos competitions.
Mm.
It is soup evenings, like gala evenings. We have people that come and perform
Nice.
for items, things like that. Put sales, everything that we can, that possibly can, to raise funds. We do that. Reach out for donations, sponsors, things like that. Um, People also privately donate. People like previous clubbers and people who have done already club.
Mm.
So we get a lot of help, and not just finances, but we do get a lot of like maybe props. We get soup ingredients,
Mm.
vegetables, things like that. Um, we always need more,
Of course. Yeah.
but but God has really provided every single
Nice.
time. For the purpose that Holiday Club stands, I think that God will continue to bless.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
So it's the community looking after the community. And
yeah.
tell me, do you guys get paid for what you guys do?
What is that? What is that? No, we don't. We don't. We, in fact, you can you can be a testament to this. We pay to be part of the club. No, we don't get paid. We usually pay for our food for the week. Most of
Yeah,
the time, that's what it covers. Um, but yeah, no, we this is out of the goodness of our
out of the
hearts.
goodness of
But I
our
must say
hearts.
though, I mean, like as much as if you watch Holiday Club and if you see the leaders running around, you think we are insane
Yeah.
because who in their
No.
right mind would do this to themselves? But I love it. I genuinely do, and I love not just the work
Yeah.
um, and and for what it stands, but the people that you meet, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's they are like a bunch of people.
Yeah. I remember when I was a leader in 2018. You wake up at the yeah, I mean, not even the earliest bird was awake that time.
Yeah,
This was 3 a.m. in the morning.
ungodly hours of the morning. Yeah.
It was 3 a.m. in the morning,
Mm-mm.
and I forgot who the leader was at that time.
That might have been Greg.
Yes, it was Greg.
That was Greg.
Greg waking
You know how many
every single
memes came
person
from
up.
that year?
Yes,
We had so many
it was
memes from
brilliant.
that year.
It was brilliant. So
Mm-mm.
he woke us up, and then had to go through this morning
And
routine.
you know Greg's voice. Greg is like, rise and shine, rise and shine. That is Greg's wake up. Yeah.
Oh, it's,
Get me out of here.
we love Greg. Eh?
Mm-mm.
And
No.
then go through this entire thing, plan a morning program
Mm.
for the kids,
Yeah.
do that program. Then there's a little bit of a break,
Yeah.
but that little bit of break is actually preparation for your
For
evening
evening
program.
program. Yeah.
And that evening program starts until when?
Evening program starts at 7. So lately what we've been doing is we'll say 6:30,
Yeah,
and then for that first half an hour then we'll do games. So like
nice.
at the AFM, as you come in, there are tables with 30 seconds dominoes.
Ah,
Solid, you know, where there's dominoes,
I
there
mean,
must be, you
they
know,
must,
it's, yeah. So 30 seconds dominoes, a few games and stuff like that as they come into the program.
yeah,
And then 7 o'clock, then we'll kick off with MC's intro or something like that.
nice. And
Yeah,
then until what time does that go until?
that usually we say it's supposed to be until 9 o'clock,
Yeah,
but that never really happens. We
of
usually end up
course.
staying at like 10 o'clock or even later sometimes.
And then you still have evaluation afterwards.
Yep.
And then,
So, and the thing is, the program might even end on time, but for some other reason, actually, no, the reason is just that that is what God is using us for at the time.
yes.
Um, is the thing that makes us run late is coffee and talks and donuts or whatever the case may be
Yeah,
after the program. So especially if you get those circumstances where it's a person that you haven't seen in a while, or it's some
yeah.
random person that isn't even from Ravensmead that decided to come and visit the evening program. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh, my word, I haven't
yeah,
seen you in so long.
yeah,
And then that also, then you guys end up talking for hours, and then
yes.
yeah. But I mean, it's good.
So
It's
what are you
good.
guys doing in that evening program? That evening program
Mm.
I know is for the older than high school. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's from grade 8 up until whatever age.
Okay. From so
Yeah,
mature groups.
yeah, yeah.
So that higher age hasn't got any limit. It
No,
could be 60,
we've
could be
never
70, could be
curbed
80 years old.
anybody on like the age for evening program. No,
Yeah.
no.
And you
It's
get 200 people a
yeah,
night of different age groups, from
yep,
all different walks of life. I
yep.
would say that. And just other people, what do you guys do in that evening program?
Evening program, like we said, now starts off with more. It's this game socializing that happens before the program starts, and then when usually the first night we'll do an MC's intro,
Mhm.
um, where like I remember the last when we were at the Civic. I think who was evening? I know Jean was one. Could have been
Yeah.
Jean and Keenan. I think they might have done one year, but one of them came through the ceiling and they fell from the civic stage was high. It was a
Yes.
massive stage. From the ceiling, dropped down onto one of the mattresses on the stage, like a full-on karate intro kind of thing. So we usually do like an MC intro the first night, and then if we want to, I think Willa and Kunal, if I remember correctly, they did a few MC intros,
Yeah.
but it was also because they were switching out MCs. So it was a good crowd engager.
Yeah.
Um, and then we also have like people come up from the crowd. I know the one year we did the tortilla slap challenge thingy. It was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will do like a spicy wings challenge.
Yeah.
And then I remember last year or the year before, the year before, we did a something with the committee,
Mm.
but specifically Henry and Walla. So they had like paper plates with cream on it, and they smashed it into their faces. But oh, that was the year we did they so there's this group called the Committee Above the Committee. They have
Okay.
dubbed themselves the Committee Above the Committee,
Okay.
right? So they planned this whole thing where they were gonna take cups and then fill it. It was another like it was like a challenge.
Yes.
So then it was egg, it was coffee, it was
Oh.
like a bunch of stuff in there. So they made us drink that,
Oh.
and whoever could stomach it. We drank it, but then for Henry and Willa specifically,
Yeah.
they then made them close their eyes and everything, and then Matthew threw the cream in their face. So yeah, that's like some of the stuff that we do just to get the people excited. We'll do like dance competitions
Yeah.
and things like that.
So those are more the fun ones, more the ones that gets the crowd engaged, gets the
Yeah,
crowd warm to the feeling of,
yeah,
hey, this is not just the ordinary church event.
yeah,
This is just like some entertainment.
yeah.
Because I remember two stories now that I'm going to
Mm,
share with you. So I remember this one year, there was, I think it was on America's Got Talent or British Got Talent.
mm,
Four or five guys, and it is on YouTube,
yeah.
that sits with everyone has a bucket, one of those 5 liter
Oh, it's just the
buckets,
fountain.
the fountain.
The fountain is the name of the skit.
So
That's not even the worst, but go on.
we facing each other.
Mm,
I remember they selected me. I don't know why. Probably punishment. So they select me. So we all have to face each other. Take up a sip
mm.
of water into our mouths and we have to spit it at each other's face.
Um,
Oh, it was a couple of times. This skit went on for about 5 to 10 minutes.
yeah.
And then as like the finale, we're spitting in front of each other. We are doing this fountain of
Mm.
just spitting at each other of
That
this
was
water.
crazy.
And then all five of us turn to the crowd.
I remember that.
And then we
And then
all
we take a
take
step,
closer.
and then drink. And then I remember, I think it was one step drink, one step drink, one step
Yes.
drink. And then the ending was what?
The ending was the lights shut.
Yes.
And then I saw a couple of people at the bottom just
Everybody just
disperse.
scatters. Just scatters.
And then they leave.
The fountain is, I love that skit. I feel like it's not that bad.
That's
It's a crazy
horrible.
skit, but it's not that bad.
That's having someone
Tell me it's
survive.
worse than the toothbrush skit.
Oh, that was my next
Tell
one.
me it's worse.
That was my next one.
It's not. The toothbrush is that is
Explain to the people. What is the toothbrush one?
the toothbrush skit. I don't know if we're gonna do it again this year. But
Please
I want
don't.
people to come and watch, man.
Or it might come to the next one. Find out.
Yes. So the toothbrush skit, you have a bunch of people lined up,
Yeah.
and then there's a table on stage with a cup of filled with water and then an empty cup. All right. And toothpaste and a toothbrush.
Oh,
First person comes up, brushes the teeth, everything great, takes a swig of water, rinses out their mouth, spits into the empty cup. Alright? Next person comes along, use the same toothbrush, brush their teeth, take a swig of water, spit. Right, and everybody comes and everybody does their thing, like a bunch of people checking themselves out in the mirror, which is
Yeah.
actually the audience, but check themselves out, make sure everything looks good. Until the last person gets to the front, brushes the teeth, everything is great, teeth is clean, teeth are clean, and he checks, and there's no more water left in the cup. All the water was spat into the second cup, but he needs to rinse his mouth. And he then takes the cup that everybody else spat into,
Oh.
and the finale
Oh.
was he actually drinks it.
Ah.
That's the toothbrush skit, and then the
Okay.
crowd obviously convulses.
Oh goodness, I'm cringing
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
that's our
That
worst
that's
one.
bad. So okay,
Yeah,
so that's the fun part. That's not
yeah,
the main reason why
yeah.
people did. So the main
It
reason
helps to draw the people in, but that's not the point of
it does,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the parts where I enjoy.
Mm,
But there was this. But okay, so going on to a bit more serious
mm,
things now. So after the serious things are done, no, it's not serious. After the fun things are done,
mm,
crowd is not nice and
mm.
entertained, and then the MC goes on, or does the praise and worship band goes on?
So after usually MCs will come on, they'll do the first act.
Yeah,
Usually they'll introduce the first one, and then if the program is running tight, because sometimes people are not we're not on our best form, or we're not in our best
mm,
form, so sometimes the MCs might need to sort of lead the program a bit more.
yeah,
But if we are in tip top shape,
yeah.
we pretty much just keep on running. So after the first act, we will know, right? The next is going to be the funny skit, or the next is going to be serious drama. So everybody's there. So as soon as the curtains close and the next group goes on, sets the stage, and then comes off again so that the people can start.
Mm-hmm.
That's if we are in tip top shape. Sometimes then the MCs might just have to come in, entertain a little bit, and then
Or
we can
fade
get
out.
to the next one.
Yeah,
Um, but more or less after the funny stuff, which is at the beginning of the program, we then get into we might do some praise. Um, Worship wouldn't be yet, but we might do
yeah.
some praise, and then we'll have either a serious skit or serious drama, maybe even a spiritual dance or something like that.
Mm,
But that pretty much sets us up for where we want to go.
yeah,
And then we'll have a speaker come out, maybe do some motivation
yeah,
to give us a word as well, and then worship would be the for in case we want to do an altar call.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the article is actually what I wanted to go on to. So the article, just explain to the people. So is it just someone that says come forward if you want to give your life to Christ? What is that like? Because for me,
Mm,
that altar call is when someone really has that. Uh,
yeah.
I can't even describe it now, but
Mm,
they just have this overwhelming sensation
mm,
to just leave it out there,
yeah.
give their life to Christ. So there was a couple of people that okay, this was not the year I joined,
Mm,
but the year before I joined, I remember there was some other gentleman.
mm.
He came to the altar, gave his life to Christ, and the next year he became a leader. He was so overwhelmed
What's his
that
name?
I forgot his name.
Not Robert.
But we'll figure it out.
Mm,
But he felt that no man, I need to contribute. I
mm,
need to give my life to Christ, and I need to act upon it.
mm.
So just explain to us with that sequence of going into that
Yeah.
worship, going into that ministry, and then onto that altar call. What does that look like?
Oh God, would guide my words. Um, so evening program as a whole, when the planning starts for evening program, and we wanna if they are doing this is now Kunal and Walla's department,
Mm,
I know that they pray over evening program a lot, not just for the funny things that we spoke about now,
mm,
but that the skits and the dramas and the things that they choose to put into those evening programs, that it would hit and that it would land upon the ears of the people who need to hear it
mm,
and the eyes of people who need to see it. So I know that specifically the dramas are even written by some of the leaders. Some of the leaders outright dramas.
mm.
Um, Pieces of leaders' lives are in the dramas that are performed, or that are rendered every night, not performed. And the topics that are spoken about it, that are addressed, the topics that a lot of the people in Ravensmead battle with as well.
Mm.
Um, for the people who don't know Ravensmead, there are those circumstances where children are being raised by their grandparents because their parents might be on drugs.
Yeah,
There are constant gang threats and constant um, those kinds of environments, man.
yeah,
Domestic abuse, drugs, teenage pregnancies, those kinds of things. Love Ravensmead with all my heart. Love the people of Ravensmead.
mm,
I just find them to be funny on another level, and just they warmth, man. Love
yeah,
Ravensmead. But I also feel like those of us who have worked there and have been there
yeah.
can't deny that there are issues that face Ravensmead as well. So when the planning goes into the programs, those are the things that are borne in mind.
Mm.
Um, this topic that we are dealing with now is a girl who fell pregnant and her parents want to kick her out of the house.
Mm.
Um, a guy who is being, what's the word I'm looking for?
Abusive?
No man, not lured into gangsterism, but
Let's just say luring the
yeah,
gangsters, yeah?
um, there were people that wanted to join the gang.
Mm.
What's the word? Doesn't bother me now the whole time.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. So, what? No,
Intimidate? No.
no. Anyway, um, it's bothering me. Anyway, okay, I'll go on. So they wanted to join the gang. No,
No.
recruited. Recruited.
Recruited.
That's the word I'm looking for. So he's being recruited. Um, he doesn't live in a house where people really care about him. There aren't people don't take interest in the things that he does, or they just simply are too busy. They live in a house with five other children or six other children. They aren't given the attention that they need. Um, and that boy is now being recruited. Like this is a place where he feels he can belong. It's a place where he feels like he's accepted. He's been given money to take care of his family as well. So I mean, what isn't there to gain from this?
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of things that are reflected in the dramas and the skits and the things. Um, Even spiritual dancing, like those are things that Michaela, we also gonna meet later. Well, she also did. She's getting back into spiritual dancing now as well, but I feel like that's something she can tell him.
Hey.
Yeah. But those are the kinds of things that we try and incorporate, man. Because that's the purpose of it, and that's what Holiday Club stands for, and that's what we're trying to bring across. And I know I'm speaking very long now,
Go for it.
but
Go for
this
it.
is where I was leading into.
Yes.
So all of those things. I mean, I can't sit in an audience and know that those stories are my life, and I see those stories in my area all the time, and I'm seeing it displayed here on stage. Obviously, that's going to hit me in some kind of way. So the idea is that it does, resonate with some people, and then praise and worship gets on stage, and that is now your opportunity to leave it all out before God. And I know for me, worship is my ministry. It was something that I was battling for a while because I was like, should I get into it fully? Should I not? But worship is my ministry, and for me, that is where you leave it all before God. That that is where you feel his presence, and that is where you speak to him as loudly as you possibly want to. Where you feel as though you are struggling with anything, that is where you pray. Because I mean, even for me, even if I'm leading praise and worship in that moment, me, I'll turn around, I'll close my eyes, and I'll start praying. I don't care. That is what it's there for, and that's what I'll
Nice.
do.
Yes.
So those people who are then struck by whatever was happening in that evening program, that is then your opportunity. And I mean, it looks different for everybody. God doesn't speak to everybody in the same way. He doesn't use the same message to speak to everybody as well. Yours might be a shiver down your spine. The other person's might be a tingling in their feet. Another
Yeah.
person might just feel something pushing them to the front. Whatever it is, God does it in different ways. Um, but if that is your moment, then that is your moment. And I mean, even if you feel as though you weren't led in that moment, even if you just feel like you're going because everybody else is going, go for it. I promise there's nothing wrong with you going up front and receiving prayer and listening to what God has to say. That will never be wrong. It
Yeah.
will never be a wrong thing to do. So yeah.
Nice. Oh. And breathe.
Yeah.
I love it. So they have this overwhelming sensation, and then they get called up to the altar. Then those leaders,
Mm.
those poor leaders, and we'll get onto those leaders now.
Yeah.
Because I was one of them.
Yeah.
So those leaders have to be called up. Say, for instance, there's 5 leaders, and there's 3 people up front at the altar, and then you guys decide, okay, which one of the 5 of us is gonna approach this person and help them or lead them, right? So going on to those leaders, though that week of preparation before the actual holiday club, that's a thorough process. I remember that.
It is.
That was emotional. It was spiritual. It was lovely, actually. It was quite nice meeting those people.
Yeah.
And that's where the leaders, okay, see, this is where
Yeah.
I fit into
Yeah.
this entire program.
Pretty much.
So we're going to go on to the leaders now. They pay to be part of it.
Yeah.
Right? We've discovered that. And they sacrifice, let's say, 2 weeks.
Can we say they buy their own food? Let's say it like that. They buy their own food.
Okay, they buy their own food.
Yeah. Yeah.
They buy their own food. And then they take 2 weeks out of their holiday
Basically.
and just to give back to this community. That's amazing. And just explain to us that process of getting recruited, because it can't just be anybody that comes forward. It's a recruitment.
Yeah.
And just explain to us, like, what is the criteria to meet for someone that is in the Ravensmead community that would love to be part of this, that would love to be part of the leaders.
If there's any committee members watching now, you might just get me for this because I don't have a set correct. So myself and Willa are also part of the recruitment team. So we leader, coordinate, blah, blah,
Perfect
blah.
person to ask.
Yeah. So I better have a criteria. If I don't now, I'm making one up on the spot. Oh no. So criteria is you have to be part of a church, you have to be part of a youth, you have to have a relationship with God. That is the crux of all of it. Because we spoke about altar call now, which is essentially you giving your life over to God, surrendering yourself to Him and to let His will be done. As a leader, that is probably one of the heaviest things you're going to have to facilitate as well, because it's not a small thing. You need to be in good standing with God so that you can allow God to speak to you, speak through you, so that that person can receive what they need to receive in that moment as well.
They're just a vessel at that moment.
Exactly, and that's purely what Holiday Club is. I know Michaela said that I got emotional about something one year. I don't want to talk about that now. But I got emotional about something one year. And Michaela kept on reminding me, the reason why you feel this way is because you are no longer operating on flesh. You are so dead tired. By Wednesday, the program started Monday. By Wednesday, you're done. You're dead.
Yeah.
So by that time, you aren't operating on flesh anymore. This is no longer just your normal hunger. This is now your spirit that is, and the Holy Spirit at that time is so tangible. You are feeling everything.
Nice.
You are sensitive to everything as well. So it's not something that you can take lightly, and it's not something you should take lightly. So the first three questions I asked, those are the first three. Do you attend church? What church do you attend? What youth do you attend? Do you have a relationship with God? How would you best describe it? And then how are you looking to grow within God? So, and this I usually ask after I have explained to them what Holiday Club is about. Because from that, then they can start make their own deductions about how do they feel as though they can be of service, how do they feel Holiday Club can make them grow, help them grow. And as much as Holiday Club is about you putting on a program and rendering things for these kids, it gives you something in return as well. And you need to be ready to take up that mantle. I was talking to somebody, remember Kirsten Overmeyer?
Yes.
So I was talking to her earlier in the week. When was it about? We met up for coffee. But I was speaking to her and we were both saying, people look from the outside in and they're like, oh, leadership is so nice. Oh, you guys good girls. No. As much as it's fun to be part of leadership and the people that you guys get to work with or that we get to work with, leadership comes with its own heavy mantle. And it's not something that people should take lightly. Like if you're going to be a leader, expect the attacks to come as well, because you need to be prepared for that. So,
and mental attacks, and physical attacks.
And the spiritual attacks.
Yeah.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
That's heavy. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
So just a round off a couple of things here. I remember you spoke to me this the other day. You're on your way to Holiday Club. Or it was a reunion.
Camp.
Oh, camp.
What was this about?
When so obviously you're a teacher. We've discovered you're a teacher.
Oh no, it's not a teacher.
And you're on your way to youth. And then you saw a kid that was... Okay, you explain the story. Just explain the story. I'm not giving it justice.
So there is this boy at my school. I'm not going to give his name.
Okay.
Yeah. My supervisor must yell at me, maybe watching now. I was planning on phoning you to check which stories I can share and stuff like that, but let's not do that. So one of the boys, he's in grade, I'm not going to say that either.
Okay.
But yeah,
Good.
so he and I have he's a gruwelijke lighty man.
Okay.
So like he'll catch on his nonsense now and then and he'll go off the rails and he'll irritate some teachers. But then for some reason, whenever he and I are in a class together, we gel and we work
Yeah.
and we're good. And we can have discussions. And lately he has crept into my heart, as all of them have. He's not the only one that I have this kind of story with, but all of them have crept into my heart that I don't know. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, I can say that God placed me at Safir. There's just no two ways about it. That the impact that he is now allowing me to have and the way that he is using me, I cannot deny that. So anyway, so this boy drives me insane sometimes because why can't you listen to anybody else?
Yeah.
When it's like I see you walk down the passage. One teacher shouts at you, you ignore them. I shout at you as I get back into class and you walk back. It's like, why you make my life difficult, man? Because now they're calling me.
Yeah.
And this boy, I saw him at the flats at Ravensmead. I was coming, Jamie, Lisa's boyfriend.
Yeah.
He lives close to where he was now. So I took a nap because it was a Friday. So I wasn't gonna go home and then come back to Ravensmead because I was in Ravensmead. Jamie lives in Ravensmead. Go to Jamie's house, take a nap there. As I drive out, as I take the corner, yeah, I see this child busy playing here. Now I stop the bakkie. Now I'm waiting. He comes to the door. He's like, meneer, I don't meneer. He's like, no, like, ek is maar net hier. Ek slaap maar net hier of wat ook al. I don't know what I said. Now I ask him, what is your plan vir die aand? Hy sê, nah, meneer, niks. Ek sê, kom, ons gaan deeg toe. He says to me, meneer, het boring is. Ek sê, hey, God, let's just see how this goes. Now he gets into the car and I'm just like, as daar niemand hier wat hy moet laat weet dat sy saam moet kom. He's like, nee, meneer, los hy mense, kom ons ry. Right, let's go. We driving down the Ravensmead. This child is shouting at everybody in the road. Tsai, kom esto, as jeugpanaat. He's pointing at everybody outside of the bakkie. Kusam. I was like, yes, you go. You go on your missions, my child.
Nice.
Right. We get to the church and he starts greeting people that I've never seen before in my life. I was like, that's lighting. He's greeting all the people, right? Cool. Before we even got to the church, I phoned my principal. I was like, Mr. Valiers, I got so and so here now, and I'm gonna take him with me to youth. He says, okay, is this fine? And my principal is just like, yeah, maak net seker dat sy ouers weet waar hy is, dat sy ma weet waar hy is. I was like, no problem, let's go. So that I got my approval. Right? And now as we get there, he tells me, yeah, as boring as hy is to stop now. So yeah, Jeremiah is to stop. That's the case. Right, that's his thing. Towards the end of the night, everybody is going on. People are having the time of their life. There's somebody taking here. And it's like, I'm looking around. I said, where is this child? I can't find him. Now I'm checking, okay, probably just walked up. It's okay, it's fine. If you didn't enjoy it, it's okay.
Yeah.
As I get back to the circle, won't I see the same boy busy joking around here in the circle? I was like, this is what it's all about, man. Love it. He's like, yo meneer, dis lekker. As elke Vrydag so, meneer gaan weer volgende week kom nou. Yes, let's go.
Love it.
Come on, this is what it's about. And that also just further solidified it for me. Like, that school is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I can make a difference in what I want to be doing with my life.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
So we're gonna run this off now because you need to lose the dominoes now.
I'm not so sure about that. Okay.
So for those that want to help donate, or for those that want to contact you because they want to be a leader, they know the community of Ravensmead or Cravenby or part of the surrounding areas of Ravensmead, and they want to be part of this, how can they get in contact with the committee members to know when is that trial or when is that interview with
For
the
the club.
Yeah, for the holiday club, for the recruiting. How do they get in touch with you?
For recruiting, they can reach out, but we are also will reach out if we need more numbers.
Okay.
So, do I send my phone number?
We'll put on the details now.
Okay. So, they can give me a call. They can message me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Ravensmead Holiday Club has its own Instagram page as well.
There we go.
And the Facebook page.
It's my show now.
Yeah, there we go. Right there.
My editing skills aren't that good yet.
Yeah. So we have a few social media pages and in cell phone number as well.
Yeah.
Um, my suggestion is that they actually just come to the evening program or come to the morning
Okay.
program. I mean, even because this year I'm directing morning program again.
Mm.
So then perfect person to speak to. I can take you in as a leader and then I can
Nice.
slot you in
Nice.
wherever as well. So
When does it start?
Holiday Club this year starts the 27th now. The first day of the program is the 30th
Okay.
until the 4th, 30th of June until the 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah. So training weekend is 27th, 28th, 29th.
Okay.
And the Saturday of the 4th is when we must clean up and spa.
Yeah.
So program runs from the 30th to the 4th.
Okay.
So then they can come and join the evening program, come and see what it's like, come and sit there, take it all in. Morning program, if you do want to come, please message me first or something.
Yeah.
Message me first for morning program, and then we always need extra hands with
Yeah.
whether it's getting things, whether it's helping in the kitchen, whether it's helping with section time,
Yeah.
big group games.
And
Send me a message and
and
we
if
can.
people want to donate, what?
Ooh, if people want to donate, um, message me as well. I'll put down our finance minister's details as well.
Do it.
But
Yes.
technically, anybody from the committee, that's Henry Carlson, Valerie van der Ras, Cornel Jantjies, Warrig Minto, Mylene Plant, Crystal Buys, Nika Goliath, who else? Greg Koopman. Yeah, that's it.
Are you missing anyone? Michaela at the background. Who is Ayden missing?
Uma missing. Oh, she said Mylene Minto.
There we go.
Sorry, not Plant. Yes, Mylene and Ulrich recently got married. But
Congrats.
yeah, so congrats, big ups.
Big ups. Yeah.
But yes, donations, anybody from the committee, you can even speak to Tyron himself and he'll carry the message over to me as
There we
well,
go.
I'm sure. We need soup ingredients, we need vegetables, lentils, all that stuff. We need props like maybe swords, maybe Bibles, we need gowns because we need like
Gowns.
anti-Gertie
Oh, that's
on stage, you know.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Paint, paper, stationery, food for the leaders, money,
Of
always
course.
money.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And if you guys go into that excess of donations, where does that go to?
all the excess donations, there are other holiday clubs that run either the week or be the first week. So there are holiday clubs that run either the second or the third week that will be donating those kinds of things too. Um, Lately, we've been helping out Athlone Holiday Club, but we'll probably the Heidelfeld is one as well. We'll help them. Um, and the lady who helps us make the soup for the kids in the morning, she has her own soup kitchen as well. And she hands out soup to the people in the community.
Nice.
So if we have any extra things like that, sometimes we give it to her. And we give it to the parents. Like we'll make the parents little, not hampers, but almost like a hamper, man. So like some of it is rice, some of it mealy meal, vegetables, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that for the week after we've gone, then there's stuff for them in their house as well. So nothing goes
So
wasted.
even if it's in excess,
Nothing is wasted.
nothing's wasted. It's given to
Nothing.
other people.
Yep.
It's not given to someone's back pockets.
No.
It's not given to, okay, I need some porridge for my child at
No.
home. It's given to people that need it.
Given to people that need it.
Brilliant stuff.
And the money and the stuff is in a club account, and even that we're probably going to use that money for the next fundraiser or whatever. Nothing goes into anybody's pocket.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Ayden.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had a great time. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video. Check us out on all social medias where you can order your Au Blanc cap, hoodie, t-shirt, whatever you like. Ciao.